Well, hello everybody, Max of Max's Models doing a road build. And this is the KP Models Lavockin La-5. KP stands for Kovo Zavody Prostiyov, and I hope I'm saying that right. According to ScaleMates, this kit came out about 1986, just under the name KP Models, and the instructions are pretty straightforward, exploded diagram. A couple of things to watch out for. It comes with two engine options. One has a detailed engine, the other just has a shaped cowling. But the propeller shaft is a two-piece, and it doesn't show that there. One neat thing on the instructions is this little warning, number 10, to take your time and don't get in a rush. That's a nice little touch. Once you make your engine selection, of course, you have the highly detailed engine option and the shaped cowling option. And then, of course, you can put both of them together and fit them to the cowling and decide which one you like best. I decided temporarily to go with just the fitted cowling, and I might switch over to the detailed engine once I have a chance to get everything painted. You also have option of two different canopies. A one-piece closed canopy or an open canopy, and it's all pre-made. Nice touch. Although remember, there are some teeny tiny parts. This model is 1/72 scale, and of course that means all the pieces are small. It comes with an acrylic stand, which you're going to have to do some work on to get the parts to fit properly. But I warn you, not only is it very fragile, as these tend to be, but also there are no holes cut into the airplane for the stand. So if you want to use it, you're going to have to cut your own guide holes. I didn't really have any tools. All I really had was the filing stick and the toenail cutters. So I wasn't really going to get into that with this one. There's not a lot in the way of guide pins, but the parts fit quite well, so it wasn't really a big problem. The wings and fuselage had a pretty good overall fit, except for the back of the bottom of the wing. That was a little tough to get to mate properly, and it left a bit of a gap. That's probably the only real fit problem we had. The landing gear was rather small and spindly, which it had to be given the scale. The little hydraulic struts were a bit tricky to get into place, but not too bad. And once it was up on its wheels, I just let it harden, tacked on the canopy, and then decided to see if the decals were any good. They went on. Of course, they had yellowed, as I knew they would, and it was one big sheet, so they had to be trimmed out. Unfortunately, I didn't bring any scissors with me, so I had to ask the nice people at the front desk to use theirs. I didn't have a lot of time, so I just trimmed them out very basically to see if they worked. This whole thing is kind of inspired by this wintertime camo pattern, which of course is just an excuse to not have to paint the thing yet. But overall, not a bad little kit. The folks at the hotel were nice enough to give me a box to try and bring it home in one piece. Well, that's the KP 1/72 scale Lavockin La-5FN. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and now I'll tack on a little bit of raw video that I shot and narrated while I was building the model. You guys take care, and as always, model on. Getting these little struts in here was probably the trickiest part since I don't have my tools. But so far everything seems to be working out. The nice people at the hotel lent me some scissors because I didn't have anything to cut the decals with. And these KP decals appear to be one solid sheet. The soap dish made a perfect thing to put the decals in. Unfortunately, somehow one of the red stars managed to go walkabout on me on the trip up here. But these are just temporary decals because I plan to put it in check markings eventually. But I just want to see if these KP decals are usable. I've decided to use, essentially be inspired by this basic pattern. Although, of course, I'm not painting the model yet, so I'm sort of using this as an excuse just to play with the decals. Because that's how I roll. In addition to letting me use their scissors, they found a nice little empty box for me to transport the model in. So hopefully I can put it in here and it won't get damaged on the way home. Well, the decals seem to slide off easily enough. Let's see if they adhere. Well, the decals have yellowed so much that they're not particularly usable, but they do still work. I suppose you could trim them out or find a way to bleach them. I'll probably just find some aftermarket decals to use. Needless to say, on this particular this scheme, the white 12 had no function, so it's of course supposed to make a backing to the black trim. But it's still surprising that they work as well as they do. They laid down without any trouble. Like I said, I managed to lose one of them, but that's okay. These are just temporary. But here are a couple of pictures of the model, essentially finished minus paint. Oh, the few little things still need to go on, and some of this stuff's just tack glued into place. I can take it apart to reglue it later. Modeling, what's your price for kit? I think I'm buying it. I'm not sure.